Well, hello there, Board Game Maniacs, and thank you for joining in on another episode of Painting with Me, or Painting Along with Me. I know this here is like the 8th video into it, and I still haven't really come up with the name of this series, so the ongoing series, hopefully onto the channel. But right now I'm just calling it Painting with Me or Painting Along with Me. I'll eventually decide. You'll see the intro in the beginning and you'll know what I decided with. But in either case, today we are painting Boromir from the Lord of the Rings Quest to Mount Doom by Games Workshop. This is a board game. It's really fun. You will see it played on the channel too as well. But the last episode, if you've been following along so far with me, is we painted Gandalf the Grey was the last one that we painted. Now we're going on to Boromir. And then after Boromir, the last video that we're going to be doing for this game, the Lord of the Rings game, is none other than Aragorn. And that will be it. Actually, no. We got 2 more after that. Sorry, we got Aragorn and Legolas. My bad. So we have 2 more after Boromir is done, but we're going to start painting because I'm starting to ramble on. So let's just start having some fun. First thing we're painting on him is his undergarment, I guess as you call it. Not underwear or anything, but this here is kind of what's underneath his cloak. Because if you turn him around, his cloak, it's kind of bent here. You can see this part of it, the red's going to show through. And, you know, like, when I say red, because that's what we're coloring it, we're painting it as Mephiston red. I think that's what it is. Yep. So Mephiston red is what we're going to paint. So the underneath, we're going to start off with this color, and we're just going to continue on from that. And away we go. So Mephiston red is what we're painting first. Nothing too great. And I'm not diluting this Mephiston red, actually. I am just doing it straight at the painting pot and onto Boromir. I know there's going to be people saying like, well, you should be diluting it, not deleting it, but diluting it. And I know that, but sometimes I like painting with undiluted paint. But I'm told, you know, you have to add like maybe 2 layers onto it. If you are painting it, dilute it with some water. Then after that, you know, 2 layers, but it, you know, it gets rid of the brush strokes and everything else. So I'm told. Again, I'm not an experienced painter, so I'm just going by this, trying to get it done as fast as possible, just so we can continue on and paint more. Let's see there. Now, his cloak right here, it folds over, so his red undergarment, or the underclothes, kind of stops right there. Not too difficult, pretty simple actually. I've noticed too, like editing these videos from the painting that I'm doing, I'm starting to kind of get a workflow established for this, because the first video I painted was Frodo and it was over an hour long, and the more videos I've recorded while I'm painting, it just kind of, they're getting shorter and shorter as time goes on, because I know like you don't need to see me do everything on camera. It's just kind of boring, I guess. Now, that's just my own thoughts. If you're liking these painting along with me in the series, and you want to, you know, see more of a lengthy painting video, because some people, they like just listening to them in the background while they're putting their miniatures together and painting. In either case, if you want to see like more of a fuller painting than like cuts with my progress, but just comment down below, and when I do see this, again, this is pre-recorded, I'm gonna not seeing any of the comments onto this until this video becomes available to view. It's gonna be a while after I do the painting, but in either case, hopefully I'm gonna be doing a lot into the Painting with Me series. It'll be an ongoing series, and if that's the case, then it's gonna be great, because I'm gonna take everybody's thoughts and ideas and, you know, take them in and just, you know, take them, follow them, and improve upon everything because of you, the viewers that are helping me out there, because without you, we wouldn't be where we are today. And that is, you know, with Board Game Maniacs, playing all the different games that we play and doing the painting. Again, like, I'm trying to expand upon Board Game Maniacs as much as possible so that we can just continue on and have some interesting, great content for the channel. If there's anything else you would like to see, if you got any thoughts of, you know, what would make some really good content, whether it be pre-recorded stuff or live streaming, by all means, comment down below and let me know, or send us an email at boardgamemaniacs@gmail.com. In either case, I would love to hear from you so that I know, like, what your thought process is on doing this, because the channel in general, not just painting, but even the painting stuff, but I would really, really love to hear from you, because I do read all the emails, I do read all the comments, I do reply to all the comments and emails too as well, and this just helps create more of a channel for everybody to enjoy. Didn't pause. So yeah, anyhow, we're gonna paint his cloak now, and we're going to be painting that with Dark Reaper. Let's go on to that. Dark Reaper, like I said, is next. We're going to paint his cloak. Now his cloak, it's sleeveless, so this is going to be a different color, because he is wearing chainmail underneath it too as well. He does have like the horn that we're going to be painting, and also he has like his sheath for his sword. So we're just going to be doing that in different colors, obviously. So again, this here is Dark Reaper, and that's what we're going to be painting it. His cloak, that is. Cape, cloak, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. So again, I'm just going to start doing the painting here, trying to avoid getting any of the red. But as everybody's seen, if you followed the other videos, I'm not exactly the neatest painter, so I will probably be fixing a lot of mistakes as we go along. And that's just me. It's just, that's what I do, because like I said, I'm not a super neat painter here. So I have to get in here. I'm blocking. I have to get in this part here, because the edge of his cloak is not red like the inner part. Very carefully with that. And I apologize if my hand keeps blocking the camera. I'm trying not to do it so that it blocks the camera. Now, like I said, I'm getting used to a workflow for painting, but I'm still not getting used to like the better camera angle to put. I was talking in one of my previous episodes of possibly getting like a GoPro, and like having, or even some kind of other light portable camera so that I can strap it to like a head strap or a chest piece or what have you, and painting like that, because that might work better. I don't know. I've already asked everybody for some thoughts about that. So, but none of these videos are been released yet. This is for one of the theme months for Games Workshop. That's going to be in the future, but when you're watching this, the future is upon us. It is now. We are in the future. Da, da, da. Sorry, I got the Croods in my head. It's a animated movie with Nicolas Cage doing the voice for the father, and the monkey, or should I say belt, makes that noise. Doo, doo, doo. It's a great movie. Let me know in the comments below if you've seen it and what your thoughts are of that movie, because I really enjoyed it. I've seen it in the past long ago, but just wanted to watch it again, because that's what movies are for, to revisit and to enjoy. And that's just it. I hope you're enjoying the episodes that have been on Board Game Maniacs so far, and where I broke it up into different theme months. Now, what I'm planning on doing in the future is I'm going to review like how many views are on such games and then I'm going to do more gameplay of the videos that have been watched a lot and people are enjoying certain games, not videos, but whatever videos have like higher view counts, like really high view counts, then what I'm probably going to do is just incorporate that into every month. I'm still going to be doing theme months for different games, but then I'm going to have other games on top of that where it just, you know, it's going to add more content, and they're going to be a whole bunch of different, like you have your main theme for every month. I'm kind of struggling here what I'm trying to say. Your main theme every month, and then on top of your main theme every month, you're going to have like the more popular games that people have been really enjoying watching on the channel, where I'm going to be playing more and more. So your themes plus extra bonus games. That is what I plan on doing. And this is, when you're watching, this is going to be in the new year in 2020. So hopefully things have been taken off by then, because, you know, this is kind of like a time travel thing. Woo! And that's just the way it's going to be. So what I'm going to do now, I keep kind of talking and rambling on, but I'm going to stop the video. I'm going to finish painting his cloak, and I'll be back when that is all finished and we start with the next color. There you can see I finished all of the Dark Reaper onto his cloak. Just turn him around here. Tried to be as neat as possible. I noticed there's a little bit on here, so I'm going to have to clean that up with some of the Mephiston red, which I should probably do now before I start with any of the other colors. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of my Mephiston red and just clean up that one little spot. Maybe two little spots. There we go. So the next color that I'm going to concentrate on, it's only a little tiny bit of color that I have to add, but I'm going to be using some Ushapti bone. Ushapti bone, I think it's called. And I'm going to paint his horn, because he do have the horn of Gondor connected to him. It's around here. You can see it right there. So I'm going to paint that now, and he does have like some leather straps tied onto it. So I'm going to be painting the leather when I am painting all of the leather. That's why I chose to paint this part first. And I don't care if I get it on the leather straps, because I'm not too worried about it, because I'll just fix it all up and go from there. So I'm just going to paint it all just like this. Very, very simple. And it's on camera and it's in focus. I had the camera set to autofocus when I started painting, but I've noticed that even when I'm zoomed in, like the camera wants to just grab my hands and it's blurring out the miniature. So I kind of stopped that part because of that. It was kind of horrible. So anyhow, that is his horn, that is paint. We're going to leave that dry, because I think the next color we're going to do, actually no, we'll just continue on, but I'm going to just grab the paint. We're going to do lead Belcher to paint this chainmail, a little bit of chainmail that he has on him. Again, we're going to use the lead Belcher. I really love the color of lead Belcher. And we're going to paint this chainmail and his shield too as well, but the outer part of his shield, because I've noticed on the inside of his shield, I don't know if you can see that, but there's like grain work into it, so I'm assuming the inside is made of wood. So we're going to probably use like XV88 for that part. But for the outer part, we're just going to paint it all with lead Belcher. So the whole thing is like a metal that's going on for the outer part of his shield. And he's got to paint it. Make sure I get the edging too as well. I'm starting to whisper already, and we're not even that far into this video. What is your favorite metal color that you use for, like, you know, swords? What's your favorite metal color used for chainmail? Or even like vehicles? Because I do a lot of bolt action stuff too as well. And you know, it just, I like lead belcher in general for a lot of applications of stuff. Like even, I like it for just chainmail. That's what I'm using it here, is chainmail. Hopefully that's in focus there. I may be off camera a little bit here, and I apologize for it, just because there's some angles that I have to get, that, you know, I have to spin it around, and I really can't do too much with keeping it on camera. So I just try my best and forget the rest. That's a famous line from Tony Horton from P90X. Great little workout program. Yep, so that is the lead belcher on his shield that you can see there. And we are going to continue on with the lead belcher. I'm just gonna wet my brush here. And again, we're gonna just paint like the chainmail. So he has like a undergarment of chainmail, like at least a sweater of chainmail? I don't know what the proper terms are of what that would be called. I would like to know, because that'd be interesting just for my own knowledge. So if you know what the garb is that they wear that's made of chainmail, like the undergarb for the knights, I would love to hear what that is called, because, you know, I'm a knowledge junkie. I like learning new things and just pushing on from there. You can't see anywhere else for the chainmail that he has, because his sleeves are made of leather, and I'm not going to paint his boots in chainmail. That would be silly, or lead belcher, because it'd be pretty heavy for him to move around. So I'm going to paint his belt with the minotaur and all of his other like leather parts, his boots and everything. I'm going to paint that with the minotaur leather brown. But before I do that, as you can see, the bottom of his belt, or the tip of his belt, I'm giving it some lead belcher. I don't know if it's on the picture or not, but I think he'd have like a metal tip on the end of his belt, because that would be cool. And so I'm doing his sheath for his sword. I'm not going to do that though. So I keep saying so. His hilt of his sword, or his handle, I'm going to paint that also in lead belcher, but his sword itself is going to be painted with roofing steel, just to give a little bit of variation for the metal. Because it's not made of wood, his handle, when he hits somebody, imagine the vibration that's going through that. But that's why they put like the rope and the leather and everything on the handle, just to absorb some of the shock, because that could be pretty bad if you hit something with a metal sword, and imagine like all of the shock that you're going to have from that hitting. It's just, oh, such vibrations, it would hurt your hands, no matter if you got padded hands or not. So that's it for the lead belcher for the chainmail and the front part of his shield. And now we're going to go on to the next color, and what we're going to do for his next color is we're just going to paint all of the leather. His leather, like I said, it's minotaur. It is leather brown that we're painting it. Pretty simple stuff. So let's start painting. So let's tackle his boots first, because his boots are just made of leather, and it's brown leather. It's kind of off camera there, but I just need to turn it so I can get the angle of it properly. My desk is kind of moving a bit when I move my hands off it, so it's Kind of throws off the video, I find, a bit. But just that's the way it is. I'm going to have to probably look at getting a better desk that is more stable for when I'm doing painting. But again, that's all going to be determined by you, all the viewers and subscribers out there. Because if I get, like I said, if I get enough comments for this and people saying like, I enjoy this, please continue and so on, then, you know, we're going to try to upgrade and make this even better, a better viewing for everybody for the painting. Because regardless if I'm going to continue on this series or not, I'm still going to keep painting and trying to hone my craft of painting. But it's nice to do it on camera. And as I said before, it'd be nice to, you know, do some live painting where I can get instant feedback from everybody who's watching or has painted already. Because that would be my ultimate goal, because I'm going to be instant feedback and learning faster, I should say. Because that would be fun, I would think. So I'm turning it upside down for a second, just so I can get the other part of his belt. Like that. And now, let's finish painting his belt. His belt is made of leather. And where he's wearing gloves, his gloves are made of leather too as well. So I'm just going to sneak in and paint the inside of his shield there. Or not the inside of his shield, but on the inside of his shield, he has his leather gloves on. So I'm just going to paint that up, because I'm going over that with XV88. So if I get a little bit of a mess there, I get a little bit of a mess. Just keep turning him around. Now, this is connected, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the upper part of the Horn of Gondor with the leather, because, you know, it's like a holster that's holding the horn. And because of that, he needs some way of carrying it around with him. So with the leather strapping going on for the Horn of Gondor, painting it, because you can see the lines on the leather strap, on the horn. Just checking to see if I'm on camera with that. And I am. Very tedious for this because it's a little tiny. I could probably just dry brush that color on if I wanted to, but that's okay. I'm gonna try to do it this way. Just like that. And his sheath for his sword is going to be also painted with the leather. I think so far, like I said into the last video where I painted Gandalf the Grey, that he was probably the most easiest miniature that I found into the series to paint, because it had less on him, like not that much difference in colors. That's his sheath, his boots, the leather, and now I'm going to paint the leather onto his sleeves, because he has some short sleeves going on there. I originally was going to paint it like Balthazar Gold, because I thought that he had like armor plating on his shoulders, but after really looking a little bit more closely, to me it looks like it's just like leather sleeves. So because of that, I'm just painted it leather. So I'm going to finish painting his sleeves and his gloves, and then I'll be back with the next color. All of the brown leather is painted, as you can see. Just turn them around a bit here. And the next color that I'm going to do is for his hair. It's going to be Garthone Brown. But before I do that, I just want to mention that I did paint the inside of his shield with the XV88. I just did it off camera, just so everybody's aware that we're kind of up to speed on everything. So Garthone Brown is what I'm painting his hair. It's kind of not on camera. My hand's blocking. Just doing it as carefully as possible here. One thing I did notice, I was in one of the game stores over the weekend, and another game that I'm going to be wanting to play in the future in the channel is just the Lord of the Rings tabletop game by Games Workshop 2 as well. And when I was in the store, I picked up the, I didn't buy it, like picked it up as physically picked up the copy to look at the box set for the Fellowship of the Ring. And all of these miniatures that are in this game, Quest for Mount Doom, are the exact same miniatures for the box set of the Fellowship of the Ring. For the tabletop, are exactly the same size, same pose, everything. And like, I was so close to buying it, and then when I did notice, I finally looked at them like, oh, wait a minute here. And they were exactly the same. So I don't have to pick them up, that box set, to assemble them and paint them, because I have them here already for another Lord of the Rings game by Games Workshop. And I'm just gonna, use that, and that's it. Now, what's gonna be difficult with this, though, for painting Boromir, is he has like this little fine goatee, and I have to paint the goatee, and that's going to be difficult for me because it's like I have the super insane fine detail brush. So I just have to try to be as careful as possible here to paint this goatee. So let's see if I can do this here. Oh boy. That is without painting his nose or anything, because I would like to know how people paint this sort of stuff, because I'm kind of blocking the camera there. I have to block it for a second. But I would like to know how everybody paints their, like, a little fine here onto the miniatures, because I definitely need some help with it, because my skill level for that is not that great. It's getting there though, like I'm slowly working it. Did I get it? Let's see. I can probably clean it up a little bit. Wow, talk about difficult. And then like the paint his eyebrows too. Oh boy. Super dangerous territory for me. Like the detail on these miniatures is just mind-blowing. There. It's not too bad. I'm okay with that. I'm not like overly like, oh, this is such an awesome paint job on his goatee, but it will do. It will do. So take a look there. See if there's any other spots that I am thinking I should try to fix. Separation of his hair a little bit. Oh. All right, okay. So I'm just gonna leave it like that, and we're gonna go on to the next color. And I think the next color is just gonna be painting his sword with the Rufang steel. Rufang steel time. For his sword. I painted all of the weapons, well, most of the weapons with the Rufang steel. Not difficult. So after I paint this, the next step is going to be using my Drawstone Gray and painting the base, and that's it. And then it's going to be a wash. So after I finish painting the sword, and then I paint the base with the Drawstone Gray, I think is the proper name for it. Where's it at? I don't want to reach in front of the camera. There we go. So Drawstone Gray for the base, because you can see where I got all the sand done in PVA. If you're not sure, you can go back to the first or second episode of this Painting Lord of the Rings, and you'll find that, and you can see it. So after I paint that, I'm going to do the wash, exact same process of what I've done for the other videos, which I don't really need to show again. And when that's all dry, we'll be back to start the highlights. All of the washes are dry, so you can see here. Now, I don't mind the look of them just like he is, but again, I've highlighted all the other miniatures, so I'm going to continue on and do that. So the first thing we're going to highlight is we're going to highlight the red. And we are going to use Evil Sun Scarlet to highlight the red. And it's just going to be very, very little. I'm not going to like overwhelm it. I might do cartoony looking though, because I kind of like the look of when I did that last. It was Gandalf, but it's Evil Sun Scarlet, you can see there, that I'm going to do. Now, again, this can change as we go along. But I'm just going to grab some of the Evil Sun Scarlet and just paint it on gently. Just like this. So it's not a whole lot. What I mean by a whole lot, it's not like I'm laying it on tremendous amounts. His knee part would definitely be highlighted too as well, because it's sticking the type of pose that he has. There we go. So that's it for the highlighting for the red. I'm not going to bother doing any more of that. So that was pretty simple. So the next thing we're going to highlight is his cloak. And we are going to highlight it with rust gray. Starting off with the rust gray, just to show you which I'm talking about. Rust gray. I'll set a line. And we're going to highlight it the same way that we did for the cloak. We're just going to pick the little pieces out that are kind of the wrinkles into his cloak here. Just go through and paint away. And the edge of it right here should be a little bit. Again, I'm only putting a little tiny bit of product onto my brush. Like that. Very little. Kind of like the same thing I did with Gandalf's. I'm gonna work my way around. A little bit of a highlight there. Carry it over. Covering it up, like usual. Just a tiny bit. And it's kind of more cartoony looking. I kind of like the way that the highlights look when doing it in this kind of style. And again, just very little bit that I'm putting on. There. Like that's the bottom part. But we still have to put the highlights onto the his upper part, like his chest area and everything. But you can see here, it's not a lot of highlights to throw on there. I'll probably put some on his shoulders a bit. If I was on camera. I think this is the most difficult part. Just getting everything lined up with the camera so that everybody can see. There. I'm happy with that. Nothing too drastic. So the next thing we're going to highlight now, I think, is the leather brown. For highlighting the leather brown, I'm going to change it up a bit and use Sylvaneth bark to dry for that. See how that's going to work. Again, if I don't like it, I can always just go over it more with a different color. Nothing too bad. So again, I'm just going to dry brush lightly with a really rough old dry brush. Just like that. Gently go over his belt. His other sleeve. I might actually even just use the Sylvaneth bark and just go over his hair too as well, just to bring out some of the detail into it. There. Not too bad, not too shabby. So the only other thing now is to highlight the sword and the shield. And just to highlight the sword and shield, I'm gonna just use the same color that I used on the sword, which is the Rufang steel, and just add it to that. So where's my Rufang steel? It is here somewhere. Oh, there we go. So Rufang steel. Just a little tiny bit on the sword here. Like that. Grab some on the underneath part. Now again, this is kind of off camera somewhat, but I need to change the angle of the miniature when I'm painting this. So there's the Rufang steel, and we're just going to again just kind of somewhat dry brush a bit just to bring out some of the highlights into it. Look like maybe got a little bit of scrapes in it or what have you. Just like that. Something very simple. And now the only other step, actually I'm going to dry brush slightly over the chainmail with the roofing steel. Just using my super detail. It's all clean. There's a little bit left on it, but that's about it. I'll throw some right here too. There. Easy peasy. So I'm okay with his hair is good, everything else I'm not going to pick at his face, leave his face like it is, his goatee like it is and that, because I'm scared I'll mess it up. But the only other thing is to take the long beard gray and we're going to dry brush the base, and that will be it. So let's do that, shall we? And here we go with some long beard gray. See there, long beard gray. It is a dry, so I'm going to use my small little tiny war brush. When I say war brush, I had this brush for a really long time, and it's just been through the war, it looks like, anyhow. And just taking it and giving this a little bit of a light brushing. See there. Gently going over the top of it. There. That's it. So I'm going to dry brush the red just slightly with this same color, just to bring it a little bit more. Just very subtle. Because I like the look of dry brushing with this dry compound, or dry paint, I should say. Get his horn too. And there's very little paint on this. Here I'm kind of scraping away. Just like that. And I think we're probably going to be calling it done there, except that what we're going to do, I'm not going to do this on camera, but I'm just mentioning it just like I did before, and that is that when it's all done, what you do want to do is paint the base so you can see the rim of the base. Gandalf, I paint it red. Boromir, I'm going to paint probably like a blue. Actually, I'm going to paint it with the Dark Reaper. Why not? And then it goes on to sealing it, which I'm not going to do on camera. I'm just reaching over. So with the sealer, as before, I always use the Aztec clear sealer. This is Tester's Aztec. And I love using this. It should be on camera. There we go. I love using this for clear coating or sealing my miniatures to paint so it don't rub off. I've been using this for a long time, and I never had any problems with it. So just be aware of that too as well. And I'm just going to paint the base, but again, I'll do that off camera. So I hope you enjoyed this painting along with me, this episode. So next episode, we are going to probably do Legolas. Let's do Legolas next. Then after Legolas, it'll only be Aragorn. That will be finishing off this painting part for the board game Lord of the Rings Quest to Mount Doom by Games Workshop. Hope you enjoyed this painting along with me. I'm learning more as we go along. I'm really liking how these miniatures are turning out, and you can look forward to me playing the game with somebody on the channel into the future too. So it'll be the same month as the painting tutorials come out, and that's for sure. Yeah, I don't know what else to say except for one thing, and that is, be a maniac. See you next time. Boo. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to keep up to date with Board Game Maniacs, click on the like and subscribe button to be notified when more videos come available. If you want to become an official sponsor of Board Game Maniacs, go to patreon.com/BoardGameManiacs. Or you can go to streamlabs.com/BoardGameManiacs1. That's right, and you can donate to help keep the lights on, keep food in our bellies, and play more games. We'll purchase more games, more equipment to make
Board Game Maniacs evolve and get bigger and larger because of you, the viewers. I thank you from the bottom of my toes to the top of my head for all of your support. And until next time, Board Game Maniacs, be a maniac.